Change that one. Unbelievable. Sorry, that was from the last one. Big up, Rob. There you go, all done. All done. Forgot to change the top text. It's Mexican, not Japanese. That was from my last video. But it is what it is. We are now here, the F1 2023 Mexican Grand Prix race day review. I haven't said that in a while. It's been race reaction, but this is the race day review. Because we're doing it a couple of days later, not live. Well, we're live, but not live straight after the race. Because there was other sporting events on, so we couldn't really fit it in. But we're doing it now. But before we get into this review, remember to hit the subscribe button, contribute to the channel, buy me a coffee, scan the QR code. You can scan my QR code as well, Solo P1 in red. That's above there. That'll open all my portals and you'll see all my social media. And also you've got Toto Hammer, not with us today as he's on holiday. You can hit the QR code, scan the QR code and then that'll open up all his social media. And you'll be able to subscribe to Toto Hammer as well. He's my partner on this channel. Me and him do all our videos together. Most of them, we do our Formula One, we do WWE pay-per-views, and we also do Liverpool FC. So, we are here. We are at the Mexican Grand Prix race day review. Another podium for Lewis Hamilton. Another second place for Lewis Hamilton. And looks like the Mercedes car is getting back to where it's supposed to be, at the front. We know Mercedes brought a brilliant upgrade, an important upgrade at the USA Grand Prix. They was testing that upgrade, and if it worked, they're going to use that same upgrades on next year's concept car. And after the USA Grand Prix, they were surprised. They were surprised that how fast the car was. So that gave them confidence. That gave the team confidence. And that's what we want to hear. We don't want to see Max Verstappen, or it doesn't matter what team it is. We don't want to see the same team winning every single race. We don't. Not as Formula One fans. If you want to see that, that means you're silly. You don't know nothing about Formula One. Just the fact. You don't want to sit down. What's the point of watching the product? What's the point of watching the product? Yeah. And the same team winning. Pointless. So this is why things are moving and Mercedes are getting there. Before we get into the review, Christian Horner have been putting out in the media yesterday saying Lewis Hamilton was lucky to get second in this race. Lucky to get second. What race was he watching? But you know what it is? You know what it is? The reason why he's saying that is the mind games are beginning now. The mind games are beginning right now. He knows next season that Mercedes are going to have a very good car. He knows this. The last time Christian Horner had Lewis Hamilton in his mouth, in his brain, was 2 years ago, 2021. When it was battling the Mercedes, Red Bull versus Mercedes. Where, so in my opinion, Lewis Hamilton won the title. But obviously he got it robbed off him in Abu Dhabi 2021. But after that, have you noticed, Christian Horner hasn't said anything about Lewis Hamilton. Hasn't said a word, kept that shut, didn't want to know, didn't talk. But now he is, because he knows through the rumor mill, he knows that Mercedes are going to have a good car next season. So he's already starting the digs, the slide digs towards Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. It's all about the mind games. It's all about the mind games. Hold on for a minute. By the way, before we get into the review again, happy Halloween. We're doing this on Halloween, I know, Halloween. Got some more videos to do. Big up Justin. I'll bring your chat up in a minute, bro. I'm just gonna get through this. I'm just getting through this segment, but I will bring your chat up. Don't worry about that, bro. Thanks for joining us today. Very excited for this review, and we got look, everybody's excited about the season, bro. Let me just get in this chat room up. See if I've got the chat segment on there. Have I got a chat segment? I'm sure I've got a chat segment. No. Have I? I can make one. I'll make one. Yeah, everybody's excited about this segment, bro. About next year's. Everybody, because I know it's going to be a good season. Because let's face it, it's 2021. It was a brilliant season. It got wrecked at the end, by the end, but it was a good season, no doubt. Let me just make sure this is up on here. I can put a filter on it. I can leave it like that for now if you want. Call it key. Put black. Put that one there. There you go. I got one. There you go. Give me 1 second. I got the chat room. I'm not even going to use the chat room, to be fair, but I'll use it because I've got people in the house. You know, I'll just talk you through the chat. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, Justin said, "Big up Solo P1. I'm starting to get excited now for Mercedes. I'm starting to watch F1 again, finally, after Austin GP. What do you think of Lewis getting the fastest lap at the end?" Yeah, I know. He shocked everybody. That was a message to Red Bull, by the way, guys. And Justin, thanks for the chat. That was a message to Red Bull to say, we're here. We're back. And when next year comes in, when the new segment kicks in, I mean the new concept, when Mercedes have got their new concept, which is basically based on the Red Bull one, with their new upgrades, what they brought to Austin, it's going to be an amazing season. This is why Christian Horner now is getting his sly digs in at Mercedes, because he knows that Mercedes are going to have a good car next year. And that's it. So I'm going to get into the review now. Welcome to the stream. This is the Mexican Race Day review, live reaction. Let's go. So, let me just turn this down. Yeah, this is the Race Day reaction, Mexican Grand Prix 2023. So, it started off, lights out of the way we go. Charles got beat off the line, really. I think Max Verstappen probably had the best start. He did have the best start. He got dragged all the way down to the bottom of it. Checo tried to fit in a gap what wasn't there. Let's face it, Checo, he tried to fit in a gap what wasn't there. He got too eager. He got in the middle of it. It was a bit similar to when George Russell and Lewis Hamilton crashed 2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks ago now. When they crashed 2 weeks ago, it was similar to that, where they crashed. And what happened is, it was a racing incident and it shouldn't have happened. I thought George Russell, in my opinion, should have pulled out because Lewis was in line with Max's car. I know there's a lot of people that debated about that, but I believe it was a racing incident similar to this. When I saw Checo try to fit in that gap and he went out, I knew then it was a racing incident. When they replayed it, I knew it was a racing incident straight away. So Checo in his home race out, if he would have just held back, the thing about it, Checo didn't need to make that to do that, because Checo was second, he still is, but he was second in the Drivers' Championship. He had 40 points. I think it was 30 plus points on Lewis Hamilton. 30 plus points. So we didn't really need to take that risk. If that was Lewis Hamilton and Hamilton was in Checo's position and he had 30 plus points on Checo, I'm sure Lewis Hamilton would have just back and said, yeah, go ahead. You don't want to take them chances when you do when you're racing. If you want to finish second, what was the point of making that taking that chance? That was stupid racecraft from Checo. Absolutely was no need for it. All he had to do was just hold back and say, Lewis, you go ahead, I'll get you on the straight. But he never. He went for a gap, what wasn't there, hit his car, and he was at the race. Very simple. And I knew when I looked at that race, I knew when I saw that incident that Checo was, I just thought to myself, it's a racing incident. So basically, Max won in front, Mexico race start. The gap wasn't there. Checo out the right, lap 11, Hamilton passes Ricciardo. It was a good move. Ricciardo showing form, getting back to his best. Slowly getting back to his best. I believe that Ricciardo is going to get that Red Bull seat next in 2024. I believe that Daniel Ricciardo will be a Red Bull driver in 2024. I said this 2 years ago. I said it 2 years ago. Ricciardo will get that seat. As soon as Checo in Brazil, I think it was 2 years ago, or I think it was last year actually, a year and a half ago. As soon as Checo came out on the radio and said, why didn't Max give me the place back? And the engineer says, I don't know. And he says, oh, we know what he's like anyway. As soon as Checo went out on the radio and outed Max out on the radio, that was the end of his career, in my opinion, as a Red Bull driver. And then that was the similar time Ricciardo got his seat back, got a seat in AlphaTauri. And I knew then it was all over for Checo. They're going to have Dan Ricciardo back in there. Helmut Marko fancies Ricciardo. He likes Dan Ricciardo. And I think he's got a lot of influence in that team. And I think Daniel Ricciardo will be a Red Bull driver next year. So, lap 16, engineer to Hamilton, balance check your balance. And Hamilton said everything's good. This was lap 16. Charles under investigation for unsafe release car after clash with Checo. So after that clash with Checo, Charles Leclerc, Charles came into the pits and he says unsafe release. Max was pitting, trying to basically Max coming early, and it looks like he was doing a one stop. And I thought to myself at this time, there's no way that he's going to do a one stop on them tires, not in Mexico, because the graining on the tires in Mexico, because it's high altitude and the heat, there's no way you're going to do a one stop. I don't care if you're just putting on the hard tires, there's no way he's going to do a one stop. Lewis pits at lap 25 on the hard tires, Sainz pits at lap 25 on the hard tires also, and Charles pitted on the hard tires at lap 32. The red flag came out not long after that, just as Lewis and that pitted. About 2 laps after, the red flag came out. Rear suspension, Magnussen crashed his car because the rear suspension suddenly broke. Red flag came out, suspension. Ferrari must be angry because Ferrari was trying to do a one stop, and just as they came into the pits, they came into the pits, put the tyres on. As soon as they came into the pits, a few laps after, the incident happened with Magnussen where his rear suspension blew, and that brought out the safety car, and then it also brought out the red flag, and Ferrari were very, very frustrated because they knew Hamilton was right there and their tyre compound was similar. So Ferrari, so basically after the safety car, Lewis was in third place chasing down Charles Leclerc. Absolutely amazing by Lewis Hamilton, the way he handled his car, the way his composure through the race, and the way that car's handling, just like my mates on there. Justin says it's going to be a good season next year and he feels good about the car. I'm a Mercedes fan. Everybody knows I'm a Mercedes fan. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I'm also an Alonso fan. And I know it's going to be a good season next year. I just can't wait. So, basically, Lewis was chasing Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, for me, this is probably the one of the moves of the season, when he came behind Charles Leclerc and Lewis's car slightly went onto the grass, came back on and then passed Charles Leclerc. Absolutely amazing pass by Lewis Hamilton. That was absolutely amazing. I was on lap 40, and then he was chasing Sainz, which he got himself into second. Lap 50, Tsunoda clashes with Oscar Piastri. Again, no need for it. Again, it was a racing incident. This guy Tsunoda can't drive. I don't know what he's doing in Formula 1. I was watching, you know, when you see the cool down room when it finishes the race. I was looking in the cool down room, and some of the drivers were saying he was silly. There was no need for that. He should have just waited till he got to the straight to pass him, but he never. He clashed with Oscar Piastri. He got frustrated. He doesn't know what he's doing. For me, he shouldn't be in Formula One. There's so much better drivers than Tsunoda that should be in that spot. But it is what it is. It's politics. That's politics for you. Fastest lap at the end. Lewis Hamilton smashes the fastest lap right at the end. Who would ever thought Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton on them tyres, which he was trying to manage for most of the race because he didn't want to burn his tyres at the beginning when he was on his second stint. He didn't want to burn out his tyres at the beginning because in case Charles caught him up, because Charles' tyres were 4 or 5 laps younger than Lewis Hamilton's. So he was trying to manage his tyres, manage his cooling system. His levels were all over the place. They was trying to get the car from overheating, because in the heat in Mexico, because of the high altitude, there's a chance that the engine can blow up. There's a chance that the engine can blow up. So he was managing all those things, and he was managing the gap for between him and Charles. And in the end, the gap went from like 3 seconds to 6 seconds at the end. And the last lap, just as Justin said, he's in my chat room, Lewis gets the fastest lap at the race. Now that is a message to Red Bull. Now, there's going to be a lot of Red Bull fans are going to come out and say, it doesn't mean nothing, it doesn't mean nothing. It does. It does. If you go and watch the 2020 season, go and watch the 2020 season, the last 3 races of the season, you could see that Red Bull was closing in on Mercedes. I think they actually won the last 3 races. I think they actually won the last three races of the Grand Prix of that year of 2020. So if you finish strong, that's a message, that's an indication to your rivals to say, look, we're here. We're here. And now Lewis Hamilton is chasing second. And I believe if it wouldn't have happened, if him and Russell wouldn't have clashed, yeah, I think it was USA Grand Prix, if him and Russell wouldn't have crashed, yeah, Lewis would be second now. But he's crashed, plus he got his points took off him because his car, they said his car wasn't the floor. They said the floor wasn't right, the floor didn't trim off, it was too thick, the floor, it was too low. But Lewis, what did Lewis do? He goes, you know what, you want to put me down, I'm going to come back. And what did he do? He came back in Mexico and he got the second anyway. Just proving all his doubters wrong, right? That's all he's doing. Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes are in a good place. And I believe it's going to be a very, very interesting season. I believe that Lando Norris is going to be there as well. This is a question from Justine. I still think Norris would have been a much better wingman for Lewis than Russell. I don't know about that, you know. I don't know about that. I believe Bottas should have stayed there. I think they should have kept Bottas. Bottas was the perfect wingman. Just like Checo's the perfect wingman for Max. Because they know Checo is not going to challenge Max Verstappen. He's just there as a wingman. And I believe Bottas was the perfect wingman for Mercedes. Now, what you've got now with Russell, you got the young pretender. He's coming in. He's trying to take out Hamilton. He's trying to take his crown because that's what he's doing. That's just reality. Look, I'm a fan of Russell. I was a fan of Russell back in Formula 3, even before Formula 3. Even before Formula 3. Right? And I know, yeah, that he's coming there to take out Lewis Hamilton. He wants to beat his opponent, and that's the way it should be. If you're coming into a team, yeah, you don't train and you don't work your arse off for all your life to come into a Formula 1 team to play second best. But there's some people that are there to be second best. Bottas, perfect example. Ruben Barrichello to Michael Schumacher, for an example. Checo to Max Verstappen, to an example. George Russell doesn't seem like the person that is just going to sit there and be second best. He won't. He's young. He's a young pretender. He's coming in and he wants to take him out. Very simple. It's not personal. Him and Hamilton might be friends on the outside. Actually, let's face it. I'm gonna change that one. There's no friends in Formula 1. There's an old quote from a wrestler back in the day. You can come into Formula 1. You can make friends, or you can make money and win titles. Either can make friends or win money or titles. What are you going to take? You're going to take the money and you want to win titles. If you're there to make friends, then you can just be second best. No problem. You want to be there? You want to be second best? You want to be the second driver? No problem. But if you want to win titles and make more money, then you want to take out your teammate. First rule in Formula One is you must beat your teammate. Very simple. That's how it goes. Also, Justin said the last few races now from Interlagos for Abu Dhabi. Now I'm excited to see what Lewis does with this car. Yeah, wait until next year. Wait until next year. Wait until because these upgrades that they're using now are for next year's car. They're the new upgrades. Now you wait, and now after the USA Grand Prix, when the car was really fast because of the new upgrades, the new floor, the new wing, they're gonna put them new parts on the new car for next year, and then watch that car. It's gonna be a bomb. This is why Toto was so excited after the Mexican Grand Prix and the USA Grand Prix that the aero department has nailed it. They have nailed it. So I'm going to do the final standings of the race. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Justin. Thank you very much. Let's get to the final standings of the race. The final standings of the race are here. Max Verstappen 1, Hamilton 2, Charles Leclerc 3, 4, Carlos Sainz 5, Lando Norris 6th place, George Russell 7th place, Daniel Ricciardo 8th place, Piastri 9, Albon 10th, Esteban Ocon 11th place, Pierre Gasly 12th place, Tsunoda 13th place, 13th place, Nico Hülkenberg 14th place, Juan Yujo 15th place, Valtteri Bottas 16th place, Logan Sargent 17th place, Lance Stroll 18th place, Alonso 19th place, Kevin Magnussen, and 20th place, Checo DNF. So let's go and see the teams results, the construction standings. Red Bull on the top, the world champions, Mercedes second and Ferrari third. Can't see a challenge from Ferrari really, I don't think, unless Mercedes has a DNF somewhere. But Ferrari on 350 points. The only challenge to Mercedes is Ferrari. They're on 350, 49 points, and Mercedes on 371. So Mercedes still hasn't sealed second in constructors, but I think they will. Now the drivers, this is very interesting. Max Verstappen, world champion. Sergio Perez, 214, second place, and now Lewis Hamilton in third place, 220. So there's 20 points between Checo and Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton wouldn't have gotten that DNF and took all the points off him. He would probably be level with Checo now. And that's how it goes, man. And you got Carlos Sainz in 4th place, Fernando Alonso 5th, and Lando Norris 6th. 7th place Sainz, 8th place Russell, 9th place Piastri, 10th place, 9th place Oscar Piastri, 10th place Pierre Gasly, 11th place Stroll, 12th Esteban Ocon, 13th place Albon, 14th place Bottas, 15th place Nico Hülkenberg, 16th place Tsunoda, 17th place Daniel Ricciardo, 18th place Juan Yujo, 19th place Kevin Magnussen, 20th place Liam Lawson, 21st place Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries at the bottom. Nick De Vries, remember him. Also, before we're going to leave, breaking news coming in, Chief Technical Officer Mike Elliott leaves Silver Arrows. Mercedes have parted ways with Chief Technical Officer Mike Elliott after 11 years together. Elliott moved into the role of 6 months ago, swap positions, and now director James Allison. He basically, he's the guy who done the side pods. I think this is the guy who done the side pods, which didn't work out for him and didn't work out for Mercedes. Remember them big side pods that Mercedes had? This is the guy who was behind that. Technical Officer Mike Elliott leaves Silver Arrows. So Mercedes making moves now, so they can come out next season swinging. After 11 incredible years, Chief Technical Officer Mike Elliott has chosen to depart from the team. Mike has been one of the pillars of the team's achievements. We thank him for everything he's brought to the team. We wish him best luck of his next chapter. And that's it, man. That's the end of the review. This is the Mexican Race Day review, live reaction. Thanks for joining me. Remember to smash them like buttons. And that's it, man. Smash the like buttons, and I'll see you guys later. There's my intro, there's my trailer. See you later, guys. Big up. Happy Halloween.
On the brakes, Leclerc has that inside line. Perez goes off the track, comes to chicane, off goes Leclerc.